When we think about search, the typical things we'll do is we'll go in and type all our brand terms. So I'm going to type in Avinash Kaushik and see what shows up. And if I'm PepsiCo, I'll type Pepsi and then Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, and all the other variants of Pepsi and 7-Up, and I'll see what happens. And typically the people who go to Yahoo or Baidu or Google or Bing or other search engines, typically people who already know you are going to type the brand names because they already know what they want. And they're going to type the brand name and they'll come find you. But the interesting thing is to think about the many various ways in which people look for information on the internet. I think it's every single day it's exploding. So I think Google had said that every single day about 20% of the queries that are run on google.com, Google has never seen in its history ever before. In 12 years of its existence, 20% of the queries every day might be new compared to the last few months. So think about how rapidly people change the way they look for information. And that's where sort of the concept of the long tail becomes really important, because what you're looking for are all of the different ways in which people search for information. So for example, if they look for Pepsi, they might be saying, low-calorie soft drinks. And it has nothing to do with Pepsi, but they're like typing this query. So, or as I used in the case of Yes Asia in my presentation, I could look for DVDs and books and sculptures and all those things for Yes Asia without ever typing anything to do with Yes Asia. And the interesting thing is most marketers tend to focus on the brand terms. And are they ranking well? Are they running paid search ads? And I think it's important, but you're going to end up targeting people who are lower down in the funnel, have already made up their mind about what they want. If you go after the long tail queries, the key phrases, then you find people a higher end in the funnel, people who are still considering what to buy or what to research and things like that. And those are the people you want to bring into your franchise, because that's the way to grow your franchise. Beyond people who already know you, you want to target people who don't know you, who haven't thought about it, so you can get in front of them first, convince them that your car is the right for that person, and then you can bring them lower into the funnel. So it's very important to make sure that you understand what the head and the tail of your search traffic looks like. Realize that the head solves for one very important problem, and then the tail solves for another very important problem. And it is companies that have mastered buying those thousands of keywords and then targeting them correctly and measuring success that will truly win big on the web. Because as you saw in the examples that I showed today, many companies in the Chinese market are only focusing on just the head terms and are leaving the 10x, sort of 10 times more possibility of valuable traffic. They're just leaving them by the wayside. So it's a very important concept to remember and execute. It's really interesting that because you can get web analytics tools for free now, and you can get tools from Google and Yahoo and other people for free, that we tend to take the data and start to sort of, as I say, puke it out at our bosses. We start to create reports with visits and visitors and time on site, and all these tons of metrics. And the interesting thing about these metrics is that they are interesting, but they don't truly tell us if we are spending money correctly on all these kinds of campaigns we're doing, search, email, display, YouTube, whatever we're doing, and if those people are adding value to our business. Just the fact that you got a click means nothing. Just the fact that you got somebody to come means nothing. The thing that I recommended in the session today is to compute the economic value of the website, not even revenue, right? Economic value is a higher abstract concept. And the way that you do that is to try and figure out all the jobs a site is trying to do. So in my case, I was using Dao as an example. And on Dao, okay, the great thing is I can look for a review of a hotel and maybe book it. Great. But then there are many other micro conversions happening on Dao.com, which is that I could look at an ad, I could click on it, I could sign up for a green card, I could submit a review, I could look for a travel ticket, I could even do so many different things on the website that add value to Dao.com, even if I didn't book a hotel. It is the addition of the revenue that you get from the hotels on Dao.com, plus all these other micro conversions that together forms economic value. And when you start to think about, we are making 10 million RMB in the last 30 days, but the economic value created by the website is 35 million RMB. It starts to get you to think about all the success criteria on your website, and suddenly the people who are on top of you, our beloved hippos and the bosses, start to understand the value of the website better. So it should be the job of every single analyst to not focus on sort of the simple metrics and data puking, but actually to focus on computing this economic value, because that's the thing that's going to get their company to do things differently.